Hello, it's Monday, December 2nd, and that means two things. Cyber Monday still sounds like something that gets you in trouble with HR, and it's also time for the lighting industry news brief brought to you by Keystone Tech and the XFit area light with OpticSwap. This is about Keystone is about versatility, and what makes this particularly versatile is that the box comes with 3 different sets of lenses that you can switch without tools. Among the other things you can do without tools is you can switch between power levels and color levels, and it comes with a photocell, so you can just twist that into place and have a really great outdoor fixture. That's Keystone Tech, light made easy. The link is in the description. Nemra has absorbed Isla, which is to say that the rep agency will now operate as Nemra's lighting division. Half of the funding for the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act from the federal government is left. Literally, there are $500 billion kicking around, and it's not clear if that will still be the case next February. The DOA has published the second round of their Caliper program results, which is to say that their tests of germicidal UV products shows that there's still a gap between manufacturer performance metrics and actual observed performance metrics, and that we need to unify those. Those need to be on the same page. We have a recall notice from Omeet. Omeet's 4-pack of warm white LED plug-in night lights for kids in the star shape. The star shape are a shock hazard, and we should send those all back. We have Perpetual Limited selling their stake in Beacon Lighting. The PE firm had been a substantial stockholder. Eaton is going low voltage with a new manufacturing initiative and facility that will cost them $15 million. Losses are piling up at Dialite. Their annual drop in sales is $20.8 million US. Revenues are also down at SemiLEDs at $800,000 from last year for the quarter. Q3 at US Lighting Group shows that sales have fallen by $500,000 US. Ravo has launched a new quick ship program with 48 hours from you submitting the invoice to the truck being on the road, which is nice. FW Thorpe expects better earnings in the first half of 2024, showing that their revenue is up 82 million British pounds. A utility in Indiana, specifically Centerpoint Energy, has opened up a retail store. They have a brand new efficiency store ready to sell better bulbs and better options to consumers directly. Energy Select has a new website. It's pretty nice. LED Tech has entered the low carbon sector, and they have cited this as a source of profits for this quarter. Alltech has opened a new shop. They are a brand new decorative brand, and they're already up and running in Dallas. Lighting Europe has published new standards guidance that'll help us parse out the 4 different layers of EU energy standards. Luminex has managed to reopen their suit against Signify with a new legal team explaining new reasons for this new challenge. Signify has managed to settle with Atomi, agreeing to pay for a licensing deal on LED technology. In events news, we have Lightivation announcing their full schedule. We have a full update on presentations at the event, and the IES has called for speakers in 2025. Presentations and papers may apply until the 23rd of January. In IoT news, the Commerce Department has cut CHIPS Act funding to Intel by $3 billion whole dollars, because when your funding depends on creating jobs, you shouldn't cut jobs, as Intel cut jobs to compete with AMD and NVIDIA. Dim On Off has signed Canada's voluntary code of conduct on artificial intelligence development so that their future smart city programs will protect and create more private data. Craig DeLuey discusses the lighting controls interactions with the IEEC codes and what states are doing what. Lighting Controls podcast interviewed Marissa Wright on AI and smart cities, SEI and satellite. The pun works when you see it spelled out. They've partnered on IoT connectivity from space with new low Earth orbit objects. That'll be ready to go in August. And in Wichita, Kansas, we have a new smart city project rolling out for energy, not just energy controls, but traffic management. In R&D, the Georgia Institute of Tech has built a better LED for spectral engineering to more closely resemble daylight. And flicker has been linked with migraines. Light modulation can be a real pain. On the dark side of things, the ESO stakeholders have met in Chile for a dark sky conference to ensure that Chile's northern regions remain low light pollution. Allen has been linked with insomnia. Dark Sky El Cueva has been awarded with a Responsible Tourism Award. The Thousand Hills State Park in Missouri is now an urban night sky place. Bill McKennahy has been on the Restoring Darkness podcast, talking about how he sees dark sky news and bike riding as well. Locals in Crewkern in the UK are protesting the possibility of adding uplights to a 180-year-old tree because the uplights would be like 180 watt equivalent, and that ain't great. The Johor Zoo is planning on night safaris with better lighting to match. And Liberty Hill, Texas is formally applying for recognition from Dark Sky International. Horticulturally, Nature's Miracle has converted some of their debt into equity. Dazed has launched a sustainability program for retailers. We have a new study that shows that most cannabis growers have switched to LED. Ravensborg has switched to dynamic lighting for their growing needs. And Foliage, spelled weird, has partnered with Solem for LED lighting in their growing situation. In recommended reading, all these links are on nailed.org. Nailed.org is also home to a number of useful things, including the link to sign up for our Controls in-person training program. But right now, if you just want to read the following links, we can talk about Amcopa and how they have moved from solar lighting to financial tech. We have energy efficiency and hospital design. We have a recap of Light 24. We have what's going on with Signify's stock value. We have an understanding of whether or not red light therapy works, what goes into lighting for vet clinics, whether or not liquid cooling might be the secret sauce for a number of LED lighting systems, and we have an editorial from the Journal of Chronobiophotonics, which if you're not reading, you should. It's actually really fascinating. And in case studies, we have a house inside a glass house. Also interesting. In local news, we have $120 million in federal funds for DC area federal building revamps. Ottawa, Ontario's CEPTED projects work. CEPTED is crime prevention through environmental design. And it's cool. Wayne State U has switched to LED on campus. Owensboro's Regional Health Network has promised energy efficiency improvements. The USDA is funding rural projects in Tennessee. We have a national fund for sacred places, revamping 2 Presbyterian churches. We have Newcastle, Pennsylvania, funding lighting in parking garages, and we have new lighting for landscapes in Washington County, Texas. Internationally, we have new lighting on the Burj Khalifa. We have Dutch firms opening a new DC current experience center. We have E-Energy securing retrofit contracts for colleges in Newcastle in the UK. Glamox will be relamping a Norwegian oil rig. Don't relamp your wigs. Wigs are fine without light. In Venezuela, the town on the border of Urania will be switching to LED, and Rome has relamped the Via Veneto. In People News, Heather Nida will be serving as the SVP of sales for Sompar. We have an executive shuffle at Scott's Miracle-Gro. We have George Brown being appointed to program director at NRF's Fostering Critical Dialogue Initiative. And in projects, on Dragon's Den last week, organic glow sticks. LED colors don't match with black dogs if you watch the footage. A family in Kingsville, Ontario has agreed to move. They're literally moving rather than obey a holiday lighting bylaw. And you can also make an LED chessboard. I've been Scott Wachter. I want to thank you for your time, your attention, your reviews, your recommendations. And I wish you enjoy the music and enjoy the rest of the week. She rides!